Welcome back. If you're just joining, it's Trending O'Clock. This is where we'll talk about all the trending issues on the internet and, of course, give our opinions about them. I am Mercy Irabo, and I am never alone in the studio when it's trending. Yeah, I have with me, you should know, E to the N to the K to the A to the Y, and K.
Drum rolls. It is never good for Mercy to be alone on trending.
Never. We need to gossip.
Good to be here.
Thank you
once
so
again.
much for joining
Thank you so
me
much
on
for having
Trending.
me.
Yes, so where are we starting from
Yes,
today? Because I have,
what do we have?
Loads and loads of gist. So a very disturbing scene played out in Efurun, Warri Delta State, that led to a massive protest that led to blockage of the Efurun roundabout bridge. So this is what exactly happened. On Sunday night, a chaos broke out after a northerner, a Fondi called Aboki, allegedly stabbed a young man. Eyewitnesses say that immediately after the incident, some boys around the environment caught the culprit and were taking him to police station, while others rushed the victim to the hospital. But here's where the twist comes in. On their way to the station, a soldier stationed at the ShopRite reportedly intercepted and took the culprit, assuring everyone that they would handle the case themselves. So sadly, the young man who was stabbed didn't make it. He passed away that very night. And the following morning, the boys returned to the soldier to demand for the culprit. But to their greatest shock, the soldier claims they no longer knew his whereabouts. According to them, the guy disappeared. This is really shocking. So this led to the massive protest in Warri yesterday. And I just kind of wonder, like, how come somebody they left with you just suddenly disappeared? Is it not alarming?
It's really alarming, owing to the fact that I know these days people like this who are involved in this kind of crimes. People are quick to handle them in the jungle way. We'll talk about jungle justice.
Jungle justice, yeah.
I think that's what the soldiers were trying to prevent happening that Sunday. But then again, what was the plan of the soldiers? Is it that they were intentionally trying to let him go? Or, I don't understand how someone in your custody would disappear.
Like,
well, okay, where did you drop him? Where did you take him to? Where would you explain, about his whereabouts? Because there is no way someone who was handed over to you guys, all of a sudden you don't know his whereabouts, meaning you intentionally let him go. Well, and that's a very disheartening thing, because someone like that needs to face the law. Exactly. What was the reason for stabbing the other guy? Was there a fight? What was the reason for all of that?
We do not know, because now we can't find the culprit. Like I said, this led to blockage of road that leads to the Efurun roundabout yesterday. Well, let's see the footage of the protest yesterday. Well, in as much as I know that the soldiers were trying to do their duty to prevent jungle justice from happening and all of that, but you can't just tell us that as somebody that was supposed to be in your care just suddenly disappeared. We really need to know the whereabouts of the culprit, because justice needs to be served. He needs to face the law. In as much as this is a very developing
this is now a
story.
Murder case.
Yes, it is. It is definitely. So this is a developing story. Residents are calling for justice and answer. Well, we'll keep monitoring this situation and bring you updates as they unfold. Yeah, still talking about protests. There was a mass protest staged at Ekpoma, Edo State yesterday over the rising cases of kidnapping in Edo State. I think it's high time we really need to start all of this, because especially in Ekpoma, Edo State, I remember some time ago, this thing is not something that just started. It's been there for like 2-3 years, thereabouts. I remember one of my classmates that was going to school one time like that was kidnapped, and they were demanding for a ransom of 100 million naira. Imagine somebody going to a state school and they're requesting 100 million naira. So it's becoming too much. And then the ECOMA youth came out yesterday saying, no, enough is enough. We really need to end this. Well, let's see the footage. According to some residents, kidnapping in ECOMA has become a daily occurrence, leaving many in fear of their lives and safety of their loved ones, knowing the fact that ECOMA has a school. So it means that not even just the indigents, we have other persons staying in ECOMA. So people are scared for their lives and the lives of their loved ones. They're asking that security agents and the government step in and puts an end to all of these menace before it escalates further. Well, this is one thing that we really need to talk about. We know we have insecurity in other states, but I don't know, that of ECOMA, it's been there, and they've really not said anything about it. We keep hearing cases of kidnapping. Then I think about 2 years ago, there's this particular transport company. Whenever you enter that transport company, just have it at the back of your mind that your life story is in the hands of God, because you might not make it alive. I think that time, that transport company was like a target. That was the same time they kidnapped one of my coursemates then. Like, it was just too much in ECOMA. And up till now, I'm even still surprised that they're still having issues of kidnapping until now. I don't know when the state governments are really planning to set into all of this. Please, what's your take on this?
You know, you see, it all boils down to the level of insecurity, you know, that we have always been complaining in the country. Insecurity encompasses both kidnappings, killings, you know, robberies, and what have you. Now, kidnapping is one that has lingered for so long. And I'm not surprised. It's not just even in ECOMA. I mean, in different parts of the country, we hear of cases of kidnappings, you know, and these people,
even in Kwara State yesterday,
kidnappers, they demand for outrageous sums of money. Now, this is where we call on the government once again, you know, in a country where the government of the day seems to give a blind eye to the plight of the people. You know, we keep complaining, we keep protesting. I mean, I can't even count the number of protests that has been done in this country due to kidnapping cases, you know. I think the government of the day needs to rise up and own up to their mistakes, because they have failed woefully in the issue of security. And if they can actually see the need, how important this thing is, because if you play with the lives of your people, I mean, you are playing with a lot of things, because these are the people that will vote you into power. Now, they have voted you into power. What is your plan to secure their lives? You know, so if plans are not being made, if things are not being put in place, policies are not being put in place to help curb this level of kidnappings in the country, we will keep living in a lawless country. And we can't be saying Nigeria, my country, when the country in itself cannot even protect its own citizens. I mean, it's really appalling.
It is.
And also, talking about the Edo State government. Now, I know everyone is focusing on elections coming up, and everyone is just focused on different things. But then, this is a recurrent issue. You're talking about in a community where you have a school, and it's not just indigents of that community or the states that are in that school. We have people from other places who have come there, you know, for their education. What is your plan? I think efforts should be made by the police, the Nigerian police force, to make sure that there are security barracks, you know, police barracks around that area, environment, to make sure that, you know, things like this do not occur on a daily basis.
Yeah, especially in ECOMA. I feel why they're having rising cases of kidnapping in ECOMA is, I think one of the factors is bad roads. You know, ECOMA roads, it's terrible. Like, really the road is terrible. So, then usually Benin to ECOMA used to be less than an hour trip, but now you spend close to 4 or 5 hours because of the terrible roads. So now imagine you're being chased by kidnapper. There's no way to, because the road is blocked. The road is terrible. There's no way out. And I feel this is why all of these things
are
keep
happening.
reoccurring. And I feel if they're able to handle the issue of the road, to some extent, we'll have less of all of these occurrences. And then, I remember the last time I went to Epoma, I saw this, should I say, banner from the Edo State government stating that, please bear with us, this road is a federal road. Please bear with the Edo State government.
They're trying to tell you that
tell us
it's
that
not our
it's
fault,
not our fault.
it's the federal government's road, so they should come and fix their roads.
Exactly.
Oh,
so I feel if that road is fixed, they will have less of all of these occurrences. Well, the message from the people of Epoma is very clear. They want to feel safe again in their place. Well, we'll keep you updated as the story develops. So away from that, here is one of the, you won't believe this category. I don't know why I decided to tag it this way. So a woman shared a shocking hospital experience after going in for a checkup over what she described as a mold disease. After waiting for 4 hours, a doctor finally attended to her, only to say she didn't know what mold means. Well, let's see the footage.
After waiting for 4 hours, I went to see a doctor. First of all, she asked me what brought me here. So I wanted to start explaining that, oh ma, look at what I've been going through for some months. She said, talk fast, I beg. I don't get that time. I said, okay, ma, I think I think I've been exposed to mold. She asked me, what is a mold? Like, a doctor that sees patients doesn't even know what is a mold. Okay, I told her, like, I asked her, like, I was surprised. I asked her, ma, you don't know what is a mold? She said, no, she doesn't know. She said, how? How is it? I said, I don't know. How is your symptoms like? I said, I don't know how I'm going to start explaining to you since you don't even.
Well, they are always the harsh ones, the ones that don't know anything. Anyways, our story has since gone viral online, sparking conversations about medical awareness and professionalism. Well, and netizens, you know, always have a lot to say, and we're able to gather some of the reactions from netizens. Let's get some of the reactions. No one is perfect, but going back again to see he or she has not made any research on that will be a shameful thing. Okay, this one wants to give a second chance. Madam, just mention your symptoms and allow the doctor to diagnose you. Since you know what you're suffering from, why then did you go to the doctor? I too know.
I'm telling you.
Interesting. Please and please, if you want to be dull and sort your way through school, don't do it in medicine, I beg. Okay, I think I understand what this person is saying.
Yes, I get it.
Ah, wahala. This one is just laughing. This one is saying God. Because it's funny, actually.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to diagnose yourself for a doctor? You can simply complain or explain exactly how the thing is doing you in your body. Then the doctor would recommend a test for you to do if needed, then prescribe medication for you based on the diagnosis or test results. When a doctor passes through the help of ChatGPT, really, they do that. Some doctors don't keep up with new illnesses or research. They just recycle what they learned years ago. Scary reality. Since she knows the condition, let her treat herself now. Why does she need a doctor? God forbid a lawyer that knows all the law. Can we say the same for a doctor? Okay. Welcome to Gen Z medicine. They used to ask AI for stuff. Like they have a medical AI, they ask for things. Oh, really? I'm just finding out about this. Imagine trusting your health to someone who doesn't even Google. Okay, so now you want them to, okay. Maybe there was a language barrier. In some places, they call it fungus or use different medical terms for mold-related illnesses.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So
interesting because I don't know, but I think it's wrong for you to diagnose yourself. That's the first thing.
You know, I was
you just go to
start there.
Yeah, you just go to a doctor, explain your symptoms, and allow them do their thing. Let them do what they know how to do best. What's your
because
take on
if you're saying you have mold,
you
think that means you've already diagnosed yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, then just go to a chemist and buy drugs and treat yourself. Why go into the doctor? Because if you're going to the doctor, you're going to the doctor because you feel there is something wrong with you and you need their professional help to tell you what exactly is this thing that I'm going through. But if you're saying you have gone through the diagnosis, you have done the research, you are now sure that it is mold, auntie, just go to the chemist, buy drugs for it.
Or the same Google
and
you use, just ask for
them
drugs.
don't give the doctor headache. But then again, that also underscores the level of, decadence in the educational sector, because I mean, this is a discipline that is very serious. I mean, you're dealing with people's lives.
Yeah.
So if you're not well aware of certain situations, I mean, then I wouldn't want to say you are qualified for the job. But if you call yourself a professional in this field after going through 6 years in the university, and then you go to medical school, you go to, I think they do this housemanship and whatever, the different stages they need to go through, and then you are not still aware of certain, diseases and illnesses. I mean, even if you don't know it in total, you should have an idea of what it's about. I think that's where the doctor missed it there. In that case, I think her license should be threatened.
Okay. This just reminded me of one time like that. I visited one hospital, and then I explained my symptoms to this doctor, a very young doctor. While I was explaining, he was like, "Hold on, I'm coming. Okay, you said this. Okay." So I didn't know this guy was typing my symptoms on Google or AI or whatever.
Trying to find
and when
out
I
what it
discovered
was.
that he was typing, I was just like, really? So after explaining everything, he said, okay, you have to go now for this test and this test and this test. That was how I left that hospital.
Oh my goodness.
Because how come you're using Google
to find out
what's wrong with me? And I was asking myself that very day. I was like, how come this one was able to graduate from uni and then to the housemanship and all of that?
Someone
like,
said
how
we now
come?
have AI doctors, ChatGPT doing the most.
The Gen
in this
Z's
case,
doctor.
You know what I'm talking about. So
It is
everyone is
well.
trying the easy way out. So I mean, why should I stress my head when I have AI that can help me get the answer? So I mean, there is no need to go through all that stress.
Really all shades of
I mean, it's now that we see all these things. I mean, back then there was nothing like AI or ChatGPT that you want to say, oh, we want to ask the Google for questions, But then again, this also shows how lazy we have become. Nobody is willing to go through deep research.
And that's why when you hear
get to
things
know
like
stuffs.
doctors forgot a cotton wool and somebody's
Oh my goodness!
during
Oh,
surgery and all of that, and you just get
I
to
watched
wonder,
the video
like,
of how a woman who gave birth through CS, and after all the whole process, and after going through all that drama, they forgot the towel.
Can you imagine?
Inside, and they had to perform another surgery to remove the towel from her. Just imagine going through. She missed death by a skip.
And have
So
to go
just
through all of the
imagine the
process
whole
again.
stress and the trauma. I mean, you will pay for damages. You will pay.
Well, it is what it is, but I think this is not supposed to be funny.
No.
I feel we can do better, actually,
Yeah.
even in the
Let's
education
be
sector,
serious.
because I don't understand why people in medicine departments we hear things like blocking. I don't really know what it is, but I hear people say blocking. I hear people say expo and all of that. So even
In
when
the
all
in the
that
medicine
departments are doing,
field,
please.
ha.
Knowing the fact that you
can't try
have the
that.
lives of people to look after, you don't have to do all of these things, please. Especially me.
You've
If
got
you know
to
that,
know it for
if you know you
yourself.
did expo in school, and once I get to your hospital, just tell me, please, madam, I did expo. Can you please go to the next doctor?
I mean, everything will be tested eventually. Before you get your license, everything will be tested.
Tested, but we still have all of them still in the sector.
That's
at the end of the
that's-
day.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Well,
It's so sad.
It's
so
sad. It's really, really sad. Well, let's move to international scene. A French influencer has just been sentenced to 6 months in prison for taking the so-called prank way too far. In his video, he was seen approaching strangers and pretending to inject them with a syringe that actually had no needle. But still, imagine a stranger suddenly poking your arm with what looks like an injection. Well, let's see the footage.
Elle nous avait menti. Hein.
Funny
Oh
but
my
not funny.
goodness.
So this incident raises serious questions about how far influencers are willing to go just to get clicks, likes, shares, virality, and all of that. Like, they go too far. Pranks are supposed to be fun, not traumatic, not life-threatening. There's difference between making people laugh and then making them feel unsafe.
way.
And it brings us back here to our country. I see some prank videos and I just wonder how, like, why? You don't know if this person is hypertensive. You're trying to prank this person just because of likes and all of that. If this person gets cardiac arrest now, what would be your explanation? That was only trying to prank this person. I feel most of these pranks, they go too far. What do you think about it?
I mean, well, something like that, I don't think you can try that in Nigeria because they will rush you. They will rush you even before you even think of escaping.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, it underscores the level of, quick money,
Yeah.
that, people are looking at. When you know the amount of money you can make on the net, people don't want to go as far as whatever to get the clicks, to get the likes, to get the
the
comments,
shares,
and
all
the
of
rest of them. Content creation can also go wrong. I watched a skit maker one time in Nigeria. I mean, this guy was trying to do a skit, and the person's video was just on him. I don't know what he was trying to do magic or whatever. He was trying to climb, something, and then that was how he fell. And he fell so woefully that he even lost his life in the process.
Yeah.
This is someone who was trying to create content just for people to engage his content, But then again, this was going too far, in my own opinion.
Way
this was
too
going
far.
What if the person you're trying to do that thing was hypertensive, and then the person just get triggered, and then before you know it, now you're talking about going to the hospital, and before you know, the case is turning into something else. What would you do? All in the name of trying to create content. So I think people should, let's beat it down. Let's beat it down. I mean, it's just too much, and it can be too excess. You don't have to beat yourself about it. I know you're trying to make people laugh, but this wasn't funny to watch. It wasn't funny to watch. This was really life-threatening. Imagine someone just on his own, minding his or her business, and just imagine you're trying to inject something.
Inject some harmful substance.
I will grab you by the neck, bro. I will grab you by the neck. Anything you see, you take it like that, because this is so outrageous. It's outrageous, and I think there is a group for content creators in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I think we should look into this kind of content, and know which kind of content should be allowed to fly and the kind of content that should not be allowed to fly, because this can be really life-threatening.
This is really life-threatening. And I feel content creators, especially Nigerian content creators, because most times I see some of your videos and I just wonder why. I feel we should know when to draw the line between entertainment and harm. You should know when this is becoming unsafe to people.
Yeah.
Imagine pranking
The
somebody,
Nigerian content
acting
creation
like a
organization
kidnapper.
should do something.
When you know that this is one of the cases we are having in Nigeria, and then you're
yeah.
pranking somebody with that, and you expect the person to find it funny. It's not supposed to be funny, please. We really need to know when to draw the line between entertainment and harmful and danger and all of that, because this one is only trying to catch fun and all of that, and now he's going to be 6 months behind bars. So I think
That's
this is a lesson.
lesson.
Yeah, this is a lesson
There
for
will
all
always be
content
scapegoats.
creators. Yeah, for all content creators.
The
This
Nigerian
is a lesson.
Content Creation Board, I think, should actually look into this.
Yeah.
Before this kind of content creeps into Nigeria, I think we should begin to checkmate these things and know which kind of content should fly.
Yeah. Well, in as much as I would love to go on and on and on about this, because I've seen a whole lot of videos, but time is really not on our side. Sadly, we have to go.
Oh, no.
But I really enjoyed myself today.
Of
Whenever
course.
MK is here, it's
always a
fun.
joy. It's always a joy. It's
I had
just keep going
super,
on and on.
super, yeah. I had an amazing
Thank you.
time, and I know you had an amazing
Of course I
time
did.
too.
Splendid.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
MK,
so much
for
for
always
having me.
joining me.
Always a pleasure, girl.
All right, so it's a wrap on trending and a wrap on viewpoints for today. I hope you had an amazing time. Of course, you can share your thoughts with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Well, this is where I have to say, see you tomorrow for another great edition of Viewpoints. Once again, I am Mercy. Do have a nice day.